Are your lash lifts not working? Well, there might be a number of reasons why. You might find you're using too much adhesive when applying the glue on your lashes, which is putting a barrier in between the lashes and your solution. You also might find that you've tried the new balms and you're finding the balms don't seem to stick. The lashes are pinging off. It's meant to be a quicker process, but actually by the time you've faffed around sticking them back on, it's already eaten into your lash lift time. Well, if you are, this might be the solution for you. So I'm trying out the new 𝐓𝐢𝐦𝐻𝐬 balm. So this is supposed to be amazing. So it doesn't require any extra processing time. I know quite a lot of them when using a balm, you need to be leaving it on for a little bit longer. This says it doesn't. It's supposed to be super, super strong. So those stubborn lashes, which my sister has got, that always flick off the shields, should stay put, even when applying solution. And yeah, it's supposed to speed up the processing time, and I'm really, really excited to use it. It's got loads of nourishing properties in there as well, so your lash lift is supposed to come out nicer, and the lashes are supposed to be more conditioned. So I've never tried it before. I'm trying it today, and I'm really excited. I'm hoping this is going to be the one. I've tried so many lash balms out there, and I struggle to keep the lashes on the shields. They all ping off when using balm, so I'm hoping that this is going to work. So you can see Sandy's previously had a lash lift done elsewhere. Some of them have like kinks in them, some of them have totally dropped. So you can see you've got a few that have still lifted in these corners. They're still quite visibly lifted. So it has been 8 weeks since her last lash lift, so that's fine to lift the lashes again. So yeah, let's do this. So I'm just going to make sure the lashes are fully cleansed, making sure there's no oils or creams sat on top of the lashes. And I'm using a micellar water that's an oil-free micellar water. So I'm just going to cleanse over the lashes, making sure I get right to the root and the base of the lashes, so there's no oil on there. And then I'm actually going to go in with a double cleanse. So now I'm going to do a double cleanse. This is the Lash Cleansing Foam by the Eyelash Emporium. So I apply this using a cotton bud, and I'm going to put this all over the lashes, and this is going to dehydrate the lashes so there's no natural oils sat on there. So now we're going to put the under eye patches on the bottom lashes of the eyes. Top tip: if you stick them on the back of your hand before you get the client to open their eyes, it just means it's quicker to work with. So pop them on the back of your glove and then look up for me. And then apply like so. Same the next one. And close for me. So they're now on. You can move them to adjust them if you need to when the eyes are closed, or you can apply them as many times as you need to if you feel like some have not stayed stuck down. So now it's time to choose your shield. So this is super important to get it right, because this is what's going to give you the best results. So if I was to use a small shield on Sandy's lashes, it's probably not going to be the best suited because her lashes are actually really long. So if I was to place the shield on her eye, I'm just going to show you. So this is a small shield, and if I was to stretch those lashes right up, you can see that some of those lashes are sat on that crease of the shield. And what's going to happen is when they're lifted, you're going to see kinks in the ends of her lashes. So we don't want to use that. That size is too small for her lashes. It'll give her a dramatic lift, but it's not going to look fantastic because she's going to have kinks in the ends of the lashes. And after a few weeks, they'll all go frazzly and rubbish. So yeah, so we're going to go up another size. So it doesn't require any glue to stick them down. And we're literally just going to place them along the lash line. So this is also super important, trying to get this in the perfect position. So you don't want to be too far away from the lashes like this, because then what's going to happen is you're going to put the product onto the client's skin, and that's going to cause irritation, and also you're not going to get a great lash lift. You don't want it too close, because if you apply it too close where it's touching the lashes, that when you're stretching that up, you're bending the lashes over it, so it's not going directly up in the air, you're now stretching them over the shield. So you want to make sure it's perfectly placed. So you want to be as close to the lash line as you can get, but without touching the actual lashes. To me, that is perfectly sat along the lash line without touching the lashes. We've got a little gap, but nothing too dramatic where it's going to sit on the skin. And yeah, it's sat along those lash line, lovely. So just make sure you've got no lashes underneath that shield. So I'm going to apply my lash balm in a little dish, one of my little ring dishes. I'm not sure exactly how much to use, so we're just going to estimate. So the consistency is white. They did say it starts with being white, but it does go into a translucent solution. So it's actually clear by the time you finish working with it, which I really like that idea of. Straight away, I'm blown away. Wow. I mean, that's actually incredible. They're literally all stuck straight to that shield with just the most minimal amount of balm. I'm going to go back over it with my comb and brush through, but I'm just going to actually apply them to the shield. Make sure you get all those outer edges as well. Make sure you don't leave any behind. They're so important, those outer corner ones. So once I'm happy I've actually got all those lashes just sat on the shield, I'm then going to use my comb to comb through them all, make sure they're all nice and tightly stretched and they're all separated and fanned out. So this is the Y comb that I'm using. This is by 𝐓𝐢𝐻𝐻 again, and I'm just going to sieve through these lashes, separating them all out. So this is the moment of truth actually, to see if any start pinging back up, so we'll see. So you want to make sure you've got the tightest stretch you can possibly get. So you don't want any lashes being loose. If you feel like some are pinging up a little bit, just switch over to the other side of the comb and just stick those back down. Okay, so that's done those beautifully. I'm going to go ahead and do those inners, which are a little bit more trickier. So you can see on those inner corners, they have slightly come over that slight crease in the shield. I know I was saying earlier about not using a shield if that happens, but this is a medium shield that I'm using, so I don't want to go up another size just because I think it won't be as dramatic as what Sandy would like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I don't apply any product to the ends of those lashes. I will just make sure I apply it to the base, and that'll just stop from those ends kinking. So that's the first eye all on and lifted onto the shield. I'm super happy with that. The lash balm has worked absolutely phenomenal. They've applied so nicely. It's so easy. They're not crumbly. It's not bitty like when using an adhesive. They've not been pinging up loads when I've been applying the balm. They have set amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the next eye. So I'm going to use 𝐓𝐢𝐻𝐻 One Shot Lash Lift Solution today. It's my absolute fave. So I'm actually not going to apply it to the inner corners just yet. I'm just going to start just where the lashes get a little bit thicker. So from about here all the way downwards. So the reason for this is those inner lashes are a little bit finer and those inner lashes are on a smaller shield at the front. So I don't want those to over process, or I don't want those to over curl. So doing this in two parts makes the lashes look so much better when the shields come off. It'll give that gorgeous lash lift without having those too curly. You want to get as close to that root as you possibly can get without obviously touching the waterline. And we're going a little bit further up the lashes, so you want to go a little bit just over half, maybe a little bit more than half. You just don't want to touch the solution on the tips of the lashes, so just bring it up just past half. And then we're going to set the stopwatch so we know how long that's been on for. And we're going to leave the first solution on for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to go in and apply it to the inner corners. So I'm going to move on to the next lashes now. So it wants to be applied nice and thick, so it's fully saturated on those lashes. It wants to be as close to that lash line as you can possibly get it. And we're going to apply the next lot of product, the same one, step 1, to those inner corners in 2 minutes. So I've got 10 seconds and then I can apply it to the first lash. So as I'm applying to the inners, I don't want to go as high up as I have done with these lashes. So I'm just going to apply it to the root of the lash. And I'm just going to sit it about there. I don't want to bring it up too high, because remember, we don't want the lashes to lift on this little bend here. So the reason why I apply the solution to the inner lashes 2 minutes after the rest of the lashes is because they're on slightly a smaller shield on those inner corners. And if I was to leave that on for the same amount of time of the rest of the lashes, they would go too curly. They would overlift and look silly, and they would really irritate the inner corners. So just allowing it to have 2 minutes less will just give that perfect lash lift. They'll all be lifted at the same angle. So now it's time for the lashes to come off. So I've left it on for 8 minutes. So we're gonna take this product all off. I'm actually gonna start on the inner corner and get that off so that doesn't develop anymore. And then just using my angled brush again, I'm just gonna wipe the excess off, and I'm just putting it inside a cotton pad to remove it. And actually there's only 2 lashes that I've pinged up, so I'm so impressed with that. So I'm going to apply step 2 now, and it doesn't matter that I left step 1 on for a shorter time on the inners. Step 2 can be applied for the full 5 minutes to those inner corners. So they all develop at the same time on this next step. And we apply it in the same way that we applied step 1. Nice and thick to those roots, getting as close as possible to the lash line, and working the product up. So now I'm going to mix up my lash tint while this is setting. I'm now mixing my lash tint, so I'm using shade Midnight Black, and this is HD Brows which I'm using, but you can use any form of lash tint. Double the developer to whatever ratio your tint mix is. I like to use a little lip applicator to mix my tint up. So it's been on for 5 minutes, so we're going to take off all of step 2, starting from the inner corner again. A lot of people find they don't know whether the lashes are actually ready to come off, and they don't want to take them all off to then realise that they need to go back on for a little bit longer. So I'm going to show you another tip how you know if the lashes are ready. And we're just going to loosen one of the lashes. Normally in the middle is the best one to tell. And we're just going to see if that's lifted in the air without sticking to the shield. And you can clearly see that that is absolutely perfectly lifted. It's not attached to the shield, but it's stuck up in the air. So I know that my timings are perfect and that's ready to be removed. A lot of people like to tint their lashes while on the shield. I personally don't. I like to remove all my lashes off the shield and tint them without the shield, just because I can get really close to the root of the lashes. And it just gives me a really nice tint. I find you can't get quite as close to the root of the lashes because you're going to cause stinging. So I like to take them all off. So just using a little bit of water on the end of my brush, I just rub along those lashes and they're just going to ping off. And oh my God, obviously using a balm, they ping off so lovely because there's not glue there. Oh, I mean, they already look beautiful. We want to tint the bottoms of the lashes, so I take these off and again I put them on the back of my glove, just like that. And then I just want to give the lashes just a little wipe just to make sure there's no balm or no product left on the lashes before I tint them. So just using a damp cotton pad, I'm just going to give them a little wipe at the root. And then I'm just going to get Sandy to open her eyes for me. I mean, they already look incredible. I literally can't wait to see this finishing result. And we're going to apply those gel patches just underneath the lashes now because we want all those to be tinted. If any get stuck, just use your brush just to get them out. Just like that. And I'm going to get it to close for me. Perfect. And all I do is apply the lash tint along the lash line and fan that outwards so they're all touching the rest of the lashes. It does make the process a little bit longer. It is definitely quicker to tint them on the shield, but I don't know, I just feel like you can't get to the root of the lash as well on the shield, and I don't know, it just gives them a better look. Honestly, if you try tinting them off the shield, you'll notice a massive difference on how they tint. You want to try and make sure you don't squish them down either to the gel patches. You want to kind of, once you apply your product, you then want to lift the lashes back up so they're not stuck to the actual gel patch. And if you have any transfer of product on the eyelid, we want to make sure we get that off. So using a damp cotton bud again, we're just going to wipe along that lash line. And we're going to leave that for 5 minutes. The reason we leave it for 5 minutes and not your usual 10 minutes like you would for your usual lash tint is because we have now permed the lashes. So the bonds in the lashes are now open, so the tint will absorb a lot quicker. So we only need 5 minutes. So it's been 5 minutes, so I'm going to take this tint off. So a lot of people always ask me why I use water to take off my tint when doing a lash lift. The products I use, 𝐓𝐢𝐻𝐸, does require using water when removing the tint. It doesn't affect the lashes at all. You might find that they look a little bit flat as soon as you take the lash tint off, and they almost go a little bit straight again, but as soon as they dry up, they ping back up. So yeah, everyone always asks me this, why are you getting them wet? You're doing a lash lift, you can't get your eyes wet for 24 hours. That is true, but when you're removing the tint, you are allowed to use water just to get the excess of tint off the eyes. So now I'm just going to use the 𝐓𝐢𝐸𝐻𝐸 Advanced Aftercare formula. This just reconditions the lashes. I'm obviously going to use a different spoolie so I'm not contaminating the bottle. And I'm going to apply this all over the lashes to give them some nice conditioning again. Obviously I dehydrated the lashes at the beginning, so we want to put the oils back into the lashes. So one of the things that's really scary when doing a lash lift is once you've finished and they open their eyes and the lashes don't look that lifted. Please don't worry about this. It usually takes about 5 minutes for the lashes to fluff up. So I'm going to get Sandy to open the lashes in a second, and when she opens them, I'm going to show you what they look like now, freshly done, and then in 5 minutes once they've dried out a little bit. So don't worry, I normally tend to try and do something else. For example, I'm going to be doing a brow tint and shape later, so I would do that while the lashes were drying, or if I was doing her nails, I'd start on her nails and then show her in the mirror afterwards. So yeah, that's always a good tip as well to know. Don't worry straight away when you take them off and you think, oh my God, they've not lifted, because they always tend to fluff up in about 5 more minutes. So I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to get you to open, Sandy. So I mean, they look phenomenal now, but you can see they're still not at their fully lash lift potential. So in 5 minutes, you'll be able to see how much more they've lifted up. So like I said earlier, we're going to be tinting and shaping these brows. So if you want to see this video, this will be for my members only. It's an exclusive video for those only. So if you want to sign up to my members, then go ahead and click the link below. And this is the 5 minutes after. So they're fluffed up even more. You can see how much more fluffy they are. I mean, look how perfect they look. I'm so happy with those. Our eyes look so much more beautiful as well with those lashes. We just need to do these brows now. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and sign up for my members for more exclusive content. See you in the next one. Bye.